Ever notice why some people click so naturally with you and some people look like they want to run as far away from you? I get that. I have been through that, and I know some people that you meet, when you talk, everything that you're so enthusiastic about, they are also enthusiastic about. Somehow you're speaking the same type of language. Maybe other colleagues of yours, when you talk to them, you feel that they want to run as far away from you because whatever you say sort of offended the entire universe for them. Trust me, it's not about luck meeting friends or non-friends. It's really about how people naturally communicate to each other. If you don't understand this, you're going to continue to have all those frustrating conversations. By the end of this video, you're going to find out what kind of communicator mode you're in and why people respond to you differently and how you can adjust your communication mode so that you can better connect with them. Finally, there's a way to stop being a terrible communicator. Hi, I'm Jules T and welcome to the Jules T Talk channel. Why should you listen to a 45-year-old in a yellow shirt? For the past 20 years, I have messed up, made lots of mistakes, done whatever I'm not supposed to do in the communication world, and I want to share with you all these experiences so that you don't have to learn it the hard way. So let's get to it. There are 3 conversation modes. The first one is the doer, a person who acts fast, do things fast, expect results yesterday. The second one is the thinker. This person requires a lot of details before he takes an action. He needs to know everything first before he feels comfortable about the decision he or she is going to make. The third person is the connector, someone who is empathetic, sociable, who cares a lot about relationship. And you would naturally have a little bit of each, but you probably would have a major of something, either a doer, a thinker, or a connector. Think deeply about it. Where does your personality lie? Naturally, I'm a doer. I'm fast-paced and I want things done fast. I want results, and I tend to not connect that well with a thinker and a connector. And when I realize there are these 3 conversation modes, then I start to change my approach whenever I deal with a thinker and also connector. Let's go through some real examples. Here's a super simple way to figure out your conversation mode. Ask yourself, what kind of conversation mode comes naturally? Am I a doer? Do I talk in results? Or 2, am I a thinker? Do I need more details before I make a decision? Or 3, do I focus a lot on people, relationships? Then probably you're a connector. Here's the problem. Most of us speak in our own conversation mode. And it works really well when you speak to another person with the same conversation mode. For example, you are a doer and you speak to someone who is a doer. Here's a scenario. Okay, tell me, when is this project going to go live? And what's the current budget? And what kind of deliverables we're supposed to produce when we go live? And the other person who is a doer knows exactly when's the deliverable, what date do we go live, what are the results expected, and do we have any risk in this project? A doer and doer has no conflict because they are speaking in the same language. But when a doer speaks to a connector, they will feel differently because a doer will see a connector as somebody that is slow and indecisive. Why are we talking in circles? And a doer will find it difficult to speak to a thinker. Why do you need so much details? Why are you micromanaging this? I have given you the high-level details. I think we should be able to go ahead. A connector will find that the doers are impossible to work with because they look scary and they are blunt. A connector will feel difficult to work with a thinker because they need so much details and the connector is not able to provide it because they usually do not work with so much details. So when you are from a different conversation mode, talking to another person in a different conversation mode, and you don't try to match them together, you find it's very difficult to connect. So the trick is to speak in the other person's conversation mode. For example, if you're speaking to a doer, you speak results, you are more decisive, and you skip all the small talk. If you're speaking to a thinker, then you probably want to go into the details, what are the next steps, and what you foresee after this. And if you're talking to a connector, then you probably want to start with a conversation about how they're feeling today, what's their weekend like, how's their family. Be very empathetic, supportive, and patient. It's not about changing who you are, but rather it is flexing the way how your message lands with the other person. Think of it this way. You're speaking English and the other person is speaking Japanese. And when you are speaking in two separate languages, you definitely are not able to connect. But when you are speaking English and you try to speak Japanese, the language that the other person is speaking, you find that you can connect well because you took the effort to connect in the same language. And that's where all the misconceptions, miscommunications, misalignments get sorted out. You are speaking in a language that both understand. Finally, I found the way to communicate with the other person who is having a different conversation mode. For example, my colleague is a connector. When I went into the discussion with this colleague, I went in with a doer mentality. So my communication was very result-based. So I was talking about all the checklists that we need to go through, when we must complete this, when's the next task, and it was overwhelming for my colleague. This colleague went completely in a shutdown mode. It was just impossible to connect. Then I realized that I was not communicating in the right language. So I tried to change my approach to a connector mode by starting the conversations, asking the well-being of this colleague. How was this colleague doing in the job? Any help that was needed? I tried to empathize and also validate their perspective, things that they needed help from. I slowed down my pace so that we are going on the same pace, the same level, and I find that I could communicate better with this colleague. Things started to work well. We found that instant connection. Eventually, we get the same results, even more effective results. And I'm really proud that we could reach that kind of connection where we could really understand and match each other's connecting waves. And when I was talking to another colleague who is a thinker, before I go into the conversation, if I wanted to give a proposal, then I will prepare myself with what is the next steps, what are the reasonings behind this, and to get a logical buy-in. When these facts are all presented, it makes the thinker very comfortable. And once the buy-in is there, the next steps are super lightning speed. We could get things done really fast. Try this right now. Think of the 3 people that you work closely with or people that you have conflicts with. What kind of conversation mode are they in? And what kind of conversation mode are you in? Are you using the same conversation mode to talk to each other? If not, have you tried to adjust your conversation mode to match theirs? And what is the result of this test? Do this once a day, then multiple times in a week. You'll feel that conversations become smoother. People will actually listen and even like you more. And yes, I like that a lot. I learned this the hard way. The thing is, you need to put your ego down to be able to change your mode of conversation. This is one of the biggest learning lessons recently that I have, and I really wanted to share this with you because it changed the way I have conversations with my other colleagues, and I really feel so happy that I found the way to connect. So here's the takeaway. Identify your own conversation mode and notice what is the other person's conversation mode and try to adapt your conversation mode to match theirs. Do this and you find that you can connect with anyone. family, friends, colleagues. If you like this video, remember to subscribe and put in your comments how this worked for you. I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye.